Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's still September 13th. I'm still Ryan Miller. He's still back in the habit. Can you still? That's feel like you're back in the habit twice if you're still back.
Yeah. Well, I'm continuing the habit.
Okay. Sister Act 4.
Continuing the habit. At that point, Whoopi Goldberg has become a serious heroin addict.
Oh man.
And she's looking for Kathy Najimy to help her kick the habit. Kathy Najimy is a meth dealer.
That's a pretty good one for returning, though. Kicking the habit. Is...
There you go.
Okay. Hey, we already did a podcast, and it was all about Marvel movies, and then we decided it was its own thing. So go listen to that. It's probably out there. You'll enjoy it.
If you enjoy it, good.
Alternate timeline stuff. Like, what if that podcast never happened? What would we do? We would do this intro, and then Matt would talk about stuff that he did, movies that he saw that weren't of those movies.
That's right. While you were at PAX, I didn't have anything to do, so I watched movies and TV.
We can't just do the same intro.
So
was Beth gone?
Beth was gone, so I decided to watch the movies, and I watched a whole bunch of Marvel movies. Okay, so I watched Age of Ultron.
No. Oh, dang it! See, that's why. Just skip that.
Okay.
Skip the first 3.
Okay. Amazon released. So dumb. Amazon released their new series of their new adaptation of The Tick.
It's a good intro for The Tick. It's dumb.
It's
dumb
perfect.
Intro, dumb. Yeah, okay.
Ben Edlund, the guy who created The Tick, wrote the comic book, did the cartoon, did the TV, did the original TV show. Now is one of the showrunner guys for Gotham. He's back, rewrote, directed.
No kidding.
Yeah, no, Ben Edlund's totally in it. He's in it to win.
I did not know that.
Patrick Warburton also producing the show. He's big
no
supporter.
Kidding.
Yep.
The original Tick.
The second Tick. The original Tick was a voice.
That
was not Patrick Warburton. Don't get me
Fair.
started with the Tick TV show with Patrick Warburton. I have a lot of issues with it, even though I like it.
Namely, how much you like it. Yeah, I was going to
say. Lots of issues I have with that. And all to do with weird
and
copy.
One of the main issues you have with it is how much you like it.
Okay, the wording there is correct. Yes. Yes, accurate. This, though, I am absolutely head over heels for it. Love it.
Okay.
Sarah Fanowitz, I didn't know what to get. I didn't know what to expect out of him. The dude
He's a perfect cast. Whatever, it makes perfect sense.
The way he, so there are a couple of really funny bits. The first, kind of funny thing for me is the fact that the pilot episode, he had a weird suit. It had weird, quote unquote vein type things on it. It was just very odd looking.
Okay.
So in the release of the show, that pilot is still there. And then the second episode, which is, it picks up right after the first episode ends with Arthur in his apartment. He just has the suit on, the moth suit, and the villain Miss Lint, who has electricity coming out of her hands. She is trying to get the suit back from Arthur. The Tick comes into the window. It fights all the guys. They end up on the street, and the only mention, his suit totally different. Looks it's way smoother. His neck, they clearly gave him a cloth thing for his neck so he could turn his head a little easier. Arthur says something like, "Did you change?" And the Tick goes, "Yes," and then they just move on with it. The show is it's pretty great. It is definitely a little more focused on Arthur, which makes a lot of sense in the fact that it's a live action thing. And Arthur has some mental stability issues, one might say, because in the pilot we find out that the Terror, who was in the comics and the cartoon, played by fantastically Jackie Earle Haley.
Nice.
He blinded the city's superheroes. They had a superhero group, the Fab Four, something like that, with weaponized syphilis, and then he just shot them all in the head, except for the little one. He had them crush his hands.
Okay.
Yeah, weaponized syphilis. It's really funny the way it's all laid out.
Isn't that just kind of normal syphilis?
He weaponized it though.
Okay.
But before he kills these guys, they were clearly like they were shot out of the sky, and they're like crashing plane thing. They're crashing like ship lands on Arthur's dad as he's putting money in the meter right in front of them while he's eating ice cream. And so he's, there's this whole thing. They assume that the terror is gone, and so the whole first season is about proving the terror isn't gone, and about Arthur's destiny, and it's great. Like it's the levity is there, the humor is spot on. They've made Sarah Fanowitz is fantastic. Like he puts that voice on it's perfect. It's so The Tick,
cool.
and it's great. It's a really, really good adaptation. It's a good version of The Tick. I want a lot more of this.
Does Amazon do the thing where they release the whole season at once?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've seen the whole thing?
Yeah, it's only like 8 episodes too. It's really short.
Okay, that's cool.
It's
sweet,
freaking great, man. And the production value, man, it's good. It's a well put together show.
Good for The Tick. Like a highly produced Tick sounds antithetical.
Yeah, and yet
okay,
it's
all right.
Pretty damn.
Okay,
it's good.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it. Yeah, okay.
And then the final thing, the last thing I watched this weekend, after all the Marvel movies, after The Tick, was this. And that was last weekend. This past weekend,
man,
we went to the movie theater and saw It.
I was gonna say we haven't even talked about It yet.
It was really
this is gonna be good. Oh, okay.
So good.
Was it?
It was my favorite King adaptation by far.
Oh.
That is not going to be the case for a majority of people. I think a majority of people will still say Stand By Me or Shawshank. This one, though, because of what it is, just loved it. Everything about it.
Huh.
It is. I haven't read the book in a long time, so
better than the original It then.
Oh,
even
significantly. The original miniseries. Okay, even when I saw it the first time, it was not good. That's not a well done miniseries. It's not. It doesn't look very good. It's not it was a TV miniseries, decent cast. The standout for that was Curry, and it was his Pennywise was very well done. Bill Skarsgård, freaking way beyond. Like he goes with it, and it's freaking amazing. His Pennywise
dude looks
rules so good.
Like he's a Swedish Tim Curry.
He totally reminds me of he looks like he's pseudo related to Sam Lake.
he looks like he's actually related to all the other Skarsgårds.
Which shockingly, okay, I had no idea. There's like 8 kids.
I know, right? Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Stellan has been doing some work. Now I know why he's in movies all the time.
Killer clowns. It's weird.
It is weird. He one of the things I didn't know about him or about that was I thought that they had done some makeup work on his lip. Throughout the movie, he has this weird thing on his bottom lip is totally
really huge.
It's not that it's huge so much that it's like you can see his teeth and like his gum line a little bit, and it's like they're like pursed without being pursed.
Are you going to tell me this was not
no makeup? He just does.
Whoa.
It's him. I posted the picture on my Twitter of him without the makeup on doing the Pennywise smile.
No,
it's really weird. I also, one of the things I noticed, and this was just something I thought again was, it's so perfect. So when Pennywise shows up, his eyes are like yellow. Then they go to kind of a normal color when he's trying to be nice. Then they switch back when he's going to be all crazy and demony and all that. Okay. One of the things Bill Skarsgård can do is he can move his eyes individually. Throughout the movie, when they do close-ups on him, he's not always looking straight ahead. Sometimes one eye is slightly off, and it just sits there.
Not
digital. He can just hold his eye there.
Jeez.
So
this guy's going to cons for the rest of his life, isn't he?
Very likely, yeah. So he's great.
It looks great. Why was it so good?
It was so good because it was just a good adaptation. Like there's a lot missing. And I'm hoping that the sequel will really kind of fill it out. One of the big losses here is you have a finite amount of time. You don't have the 4 hours that the miniseries had right off the bat. Like it wasn't all made at once. So one of the things that gets dropped here is lots of little threads that matter in the book.
Was the entirety of the book not? Did they not complete the book story?
Oh, no. There's no way for them to complete the book story in one movie. So this is going to be split into 2 sections. So, and just like the book is split up into them as kids and them as adults. This is the kids section. The adult section has flashbacks to when they're kids, but it has to do with like the follow-up to what they experience as children. So in that respect, there's a lot they can recover and fill out. And I hope they do. Because characters like Mike is the black kid in the movie. He is important in the books. He has a lot of threads for why he's in Derry, what he becomes as an adult. And a lot of that was taken and given to another character. Which, again, I kind of am waiting to see what they do with it. Because ultimately, the way it kind of works is, and this doesn't... The kids that do survive the film or the book, they grow up and they leave Derry, except for him. And it's important that he stays there because he kind of he's their anchor, actually, in many ways. But
he's the Hawkeye.
A little
of
bit.
The It universe. Okay.
All of the kids though, like that, fantastic. They were great together. You could see that they spent time together and they had a really, really good chemistry. Finn Wolfhard, I think is the kid's name from Stranger Things. Totally knocks it.
It's got a Stranger Things kid in it.
Yeah.
Geez.
The like the main kid from Stranger Things that wasn't 11.
No kidding. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
and he's awesome. He's the Joker of the group that in the original I think was played by Harry Anderson, and he kills it. Like he absolutely every bit of levity, humor that he has to inject, it's added at the right time in the right way with the right inflection. It's perfect. The kids were great. Like the look of the movie is fantastic. Again, some book things do get a little bit lost, and part of that does also come from the fact that they changed the timing on when the movie takes place. It takes place in the 80s now, as opposed to
80s,
as opposed to the 50s. So those misgivings are easily kind of like forgiven. Honestly,
sounds like the movie stands on its own.
It really does. It's a great adaptation. And one of the things a lot of the book readers are familiar with is the cosmic aspect of that story. And
spoiler alert for you, I don't know the story of it. Never seen any of the movies, read the book, or...
I'm not going to explain how...
That's fine. No, you can.
I'm not going to, because...
My fault.
It's... Okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, the book has been out for 30-something years.
Right,
so,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I will take...
There is
the brunt of that.
Do you want the spoiler on this? Because they could do it in the next movie. It's not
I'm giving you full...
All right,
diplomatic immunity.
This is the spoiler right here.
All right.
Okay.
Do it.
So Pennywise is this like weird cosmic entity that came from like almost another dimension. I'm picking through.
Oh, he's Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Mr. Mxyzptlk. Yes. A little bit from the 4th dimension or 6th dimension. I can't remember.
You have to make him say his name backwards, but it's super easy. It's just T.
He at some point the kids, at least one of them, I think it's all of them, but I can't remember. Again, I can't remember. They end up on the back of this gigantic turtle that's kind of in space that then tells them what it is and what they need to do.
Wow.
In this chapter 1 of the movie, they actually do kind of touch on some of the more supernatural aspects, in that the common phrase, the thing that people remember the most is, we all float down here. Georgie,
sure.
They float because they're in this thing that's making them float. He looks at them with these things called deadlights that kind of puts them into a weird
suspended animation.
Basically, yeah. And they're just floating.
Nailed it.
in this spot in the cistern where they find it. So they've touched on it. There's a whole bunch of, again, notes about the turtle. Like they at one point they're swimming and there's a turtle underneath them. They go into when Richie's brother, when Bill's brother is killed, which is like the very first scene in the movie. The first thing you see in his bedroom is a Lego turtle, and so the turtle's mentioned a whole bunch of times.
Easter egg in there.
Yeah, which could be the signs that it's going to be in the movie. But it'll be very interesting. I'm really, really thrilled that the movie did the box office it did, because it means we're going to get the sequel, for one, and two,
yeah,
it means we're going to get to. I'm really excited to see who they're going to cast. Are we going to get a bunch of unknowns? Are we going to get
turtle?
Yeah. Is it going to be Leo? Is it going to be Donnie?
Leonardo DiCaprio, Donald Sutherland,
Donatello Sutherland. Yes, that's Donald's real first name.
Hey, I'm going to stop you right there.
Good, because I'm done.
Speaking of it's the video games we've played this week. Dang it.
No, it works. You want me to talk for a little bit longer now?
You're going to have to carry the... Okay, you know what? Actually, no. Okay, all right. Before we get to video games, I was at PAX. I played games. I talked about it there. There's plenty of casts to go and check out. I didn't watch any movies besides that. I'm in the middle of a few. We'll have some to talk about next week or whatever.
All right.
But I left for PAX Wednesday. Like I said, accidentally booked my flight early. Oh, man. In fact, I didn't even think about this. Had I left on time, this wouldn't have even been a problem. But I got hired to work in Utah right after PAX, after I had already left for PAX. So I had to schedule my flight to fly back into Santa Barbara, meet up with my wife to give me the equipment I needed. And then the latest flight I could catch that wasn't $700 was in LA. So I had to book all the way to freaking LA. I got there too late to check any luggage, so I still had to ditch some of my equipment in the car. Barely made the flight, but got there and then spent the next 2 days working 12 hours a day. Basically, he had me for 2 days. So he's like, I'm going to work you to death. Your contract, so I can abuse you. It doesn't matter. You know, you're not going to charge me overtime because you're an idiot. Did all that and then managed to come back on a return flight with my half brother that I didn't know existed until a year ago.
Yahtzee!
There was a cast a while ago where I very cryptically said, you asked me what I had done, and I said I had people over, or I had made contact with family. I can't even remember how I put it.
Yeah, no, you were very cloak and dagger about it. You were like, I met
Yes.
Dabney Coleman.
No.
With quote signs. You were like, Dabney
Yes.
Coleman. That's what we call your brother.
That would have been a good nickname, though, actually. No, so I couldn't talk about it because there were lots of people involved and permissions needed to be had and such and such.
Yeah.
That's all kind of out in the open now. What happened was my mom gave up a kid for adoption before I was born.
Oh, we're going into it.
Didn't
Right?
tell anybody. Yes, no, I'll do it quick as possible.
Good. We don't want to get emotional
didn't
here.
Tell anybody until just over a year ago when she told my wife, who lovingly doesn't keep secrets. We don't keep secrets from each other. You know, that type of thing, if you're into it.
I don't understand relationships.
Yeah, don't ask. Told me, and then I told, without permission, many, not many, like 3 other people in the family. So we kind of all knew, but we knew we couldn't say anything because my mom was definitely not, doesn't move real quickly, was definitely not. Anyways, he found my mom, and through a series of he took a DNA test. My aunt had taken a DNA test. There's a website called Ancestry.com and 23andMe, I think, or something like that, are these places where you can take these tests.
23andMe sounds very
I think
sensual.
that's what it's called. Yeah, it's a dating website where you give your DNA, and that doesn't make sense. Do they help you date your sister, or I wouldn't know.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
None
of those things.
If you got 23 siblings, we'll help you date the right one.
He got a red flag that was like, this girl might be your aunt, because you check a little public box when you do it, basically. It's like, share this with whoever, let's see what's up. And my aunt has some adopted kids, so she's very much in touch with that. So anyways, he found us, and it ended up being a much quicker than normal thing because we all already knew, and I had already told everybody. So basically my mom was kind of like, what am I going to do? Nobody knows about this. And I was like, well, you can do this because everybody knows about it. Worked out.
Good job, son.
Yeah. Long story short, has been amazing in every aspect. I have a new brother and he's cool and his family is amazing. And he came down. I got hired. Like he was trying to come down. He couldn't make flights because large life events that weren't finding your biological family kept happening. So he couldn't come down. And then finally he got a flight down. And then I literally got hired an hour away from his house after that. So we ended up taking the same flight back because I was already working near. Yeah.
Did you work in it now?
Mm-hmm. So I didn't play a lot of video games or watch a lot of movies. Hey, oh no, that's not true. I watched Fate of the Furious, The Mummy, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie simultaneously on the back of airplane seats.
And those were all better without being able to hear them, I bet.
The Mummy ruined all of them.
Mm-hmm. That's going to happen. Yeah. I've heard that movie actually has totally downed the Pirate Bay because it's just so bad. Like, no! I did get to play some games, but I am curious. We haven't touched on this, and I didn't ask you then, but I'm going to ask you now. You've had some time to ruminate and sit on it.
Okay.
What was your standout game from PAX? Was there anything that you were like, yeah, man, this game was fantastic, I'm into it? Or was everything just kind of, we talked about how there wasn't really a standout game period, where we kind of felt like there had been in the past. Right.
So, I mean, because of that, I played a lot of little games. They were all,
Did you walk away from anything going, that I'm getting day one? That's, I guess, the question.
No, I mean, the one I keep thinking about the most often was Doom FVR or VFR. The one I keep thinking about the most is the one I can't remember what it's called exactly.
Sure.
Doom.
Yeah. All right.
And no, I'm not going to get that day one because that would cost somewhere near $1,000 to do that.
That seems reasonable for a single video game.
It is Doom, I guess.
I did play some games this week. I spent a whole bunch more time with Prey. Now I checked my hours on it. Now I'm at like 15 hours. Still don't think I've gotten anywhere with it.
Ooh.
That game is I gotta recommend it to you, man. It's very likely going into my end of the year must play list.
Oh.
It's very, very good. Not a whole lot else to add to it though. It's story wise, it's still expanding. It's still good. I like it.
Cool.
I also randomly, I don't know. Don't know why I picked up Madden.
Okay.
Haven't picked up Madden in a while. Bought a Madden game.
Madden 18?
I am 58%, I think, through the story, the long shot story. Really kind of a cool, well put together mode. It's kind of fun. It's a combination of like quick time events, of choosing not a dialogue option so much, but a style of dialogue. So are you going to insult somebody, or are you going to ignore it, or are you going to, whatever, that kind of thing?
Okay. Paragon or Renegade? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's a MOBA or a movie starring Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah. So those parts are cool, and then you've got this kind of interesting story about the kid who you and your best friend were high school football players together, and your dad was killed in a drunk driving accident right after you made it into college, and so you drop out of college to go back home, and everybody says, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And you get a chance to go to it's like a combine basically that lets you show your skills, and the people that do well there get to go to the next version, and blah blah blah. And at one point you meet a television producer who wants to use you for a show called Long Shot, and the idea of the show being that you're gonna be given a good coach, you're given time, and you're gonna get a chance to try out for an actual NFL team and maybe get drafted and be a long shot.
You are the long shot.
You are the long shot. And it's cool. It's fine. It's a neat a neat story mode. So far, it's it's a cool way to actually learn football if you don't know football.
And that's the thing I keep hearing, that because I was on the fence. Like I when you told me you were gonna get it, I was like, yeah, that, like, I've kind of been thinking about that too. But it's steep for just that mode, like $60 to just play the
very much.
story.
I actually, so the thing that I'm surprised by is the definite pay to win mode Madden Ultimate Team.
What?
Madden Ultimate Team is, all the Ultimate Teams are always a pay to win thing. It's totally, that's their moneymaker. But what they do give you is there's all these single player things you can do with it that allow you to accrue certain amounts of coins and stuff. So you can play with it. You don't need to pay to win to play it. You only need to pay to win if you're going to play online. I'm not playing online because I don't care. The Ultimate Team stuff, though, is really cool. And it's kind of that thing that adds enough to a game to where I'm like, got to go to the next thing. Because it's a bunch of...
Just one more.
In a bunch of them are just quote unquote moments where it's something happened in a real game at X time. In 2012, player X ran 300 yards and blew this team out. So your challenge at that point is just win the game, and a bonus is get the 300 yards rushing. If you could do that, you get extra coins, whatever. But then then
you go in and play like a game of Madden against bots. And
in those ones you may play a full game, but other ones are they're just as simple as you're playing 1 quarter, you're playing 4 minutes, you're playing 2 minutes.
Okay, that's cool.
And they are ultimately, they're very similar in the sense that it's almost always win the game, get a score here, but they add things in there like on this drive prevent them from getting a 10-yard rush. On this drive, prevent them from getting this. Don't let them score. You need to score. You need to score like this. You need to do this and this. And it's cool. And then as you complete it and you do other things, you'll get coins, you get packs that unlock players, and it's fun. An Ultimate Team for Madden works better for me than the one in FIFA because I like soccer, but I don't know every player. Right.
No, you're an American.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I'm a filthy Americano.
Much. Yeah.
But I know a huge chunk of football players. So Madden Ultimate Team, it is the idea that you get players from every team from all across eras, and they can play on your team. So I've got players like Bo Jackson's on my team right now. Yeah, he is.
Nice. Bo knows.
Bo does
things
know
from their
he does
stuff.
Yeah, it's great having Bo Jackson and being given the ball by Andy Dalton. Who does that? I do.
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
Yeah, the redheaded stepchild. No, wait, they call him the Flaming Rocket. I don't remember what they call him. Something to do with fire and rockets and stuff. I don't know. It's a good game. It's I'm enjoying it for a game that I haven't touched in a long time. Like I haven't played a Madden game.
I was gonna say, yeah. When was the last time you played a Madden?
09 maybe. 09 or Madden 10. Not sure. One of those two. I could find out actually. It's the one with Sean Alexander on the cover. That was I think the last one I got.
Sean Alexander. Good old Fire Rocket himself.
Yep, Fire Rocket, the raccoon man of
good old garbage panda.
Yep, that's him, Sean, the garbage panda. It's cool. Story mode is cool. Really like it. Gonna finish it. It'll be fun.
Sweet.
And then last thing I played Fortnite for about a minute, and I didn't get a chance to do Fortnite Friday last 2 weeks for a few reasons. But Fortnite Friday will be back this Friday. Should be. Anyways, and with that, I don't know if I'm gonna play Fortnite or if I'm gonna play the new mode that they just dropped today in the test server, Fortnite Battle Royale. This is available for PC, PS4, and Xbox right now. So if you've got the game, you can play this, and it's PUBG for Fortnite, where they've man, I was watching streams earlier. It works.
What? So, okay.
It makes
is there still an objective, or is it literally just using...
It's PUBG.
Are you still building anything, or no?
Oh, sure. Oh, I was totally watching people, like, they were getting sniped, threw up a wall, ran away. Getting charged at, build a wall. Do it. Somebody built
How big are the
Somebody
teams?
Built a wall, put a door in there, and go in their room. All you got to do.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
right.
it's the same idea. They've got the map. You're instead of it being in a plane, you're like in a flying bus. And you can one of the cool things, I do like this. You can jump out. You still have to hit F. You don't have a parachute. You have a glider. But you can put the glider away and continue to drop again. So you don't have to, you're not stuck to, I pulled my parachute, now I'm stuck.
So it's better than Battlegrounds.
In some ways, maybe. Could be. I think this is very cool. This is an idea that really works in my head for Fortnite. Sure. I like the idea that you could get to the end and doing so, like somebody could be chasing you. You could build stairs right in front of you. Throw a ground behind you. Go around them and drop behind them. Get above them.
You should try this for Fortnite Friday. Actually.
You could potentially, if you've got people that aren't paying attention, you could totally build your base on the side of off of something. So you build an extra floor off the side of something that's raised up, build some walls around that, build up another set of stairs so that people will go up the stairs. You can be underneath them and shoot them. It's like there's a ton of really cool things you can do with this. So it just released yesterday, actually. I'm sorry. And
nobody cares.
No, they don't.
Sorry. Nobody cares that we got the day wrong.
Everybody, that's the thing. That's right there. People
care.
Tuned out and unsubscribed.
I care.
I'm looking forward to checking this out, and I may check it out on Friday. That might be Fortnite Friday. But
cool.
I'm done talking now for a minute.
You're gonna have to carry the game section too. All I did, like I said, I have all the PAX games. I did play Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time with Sean.
Yeah.
While he was kind enough to put me up at his house, and I will say that is maybe the best game I've ever fallen asleep to. Kind of, I couldn't stay awake for because it was like this is. I can't even remember exactly. Yeah, no, this was right after we filmed the last live show.
Yeah.
And he's like, let's go play some stuff. And on paper, let me tell you, I was excited, stoked. I love staying over at people's houses and then just like, especially like-minded people, gamers, and just, man, we could have just played forever. Except I could not. I don't know if they knew I was nodding off, but my gameplay. Well, okay.
They knew.
That game looks super cool and super fun. I was on the shield for one part of it, and I'm sure that was going great because every time I woke up, we were getting hit by something. I was like, oh, I'm on it. And then I found out you could if you did, because the shield will be off, and then on when you hit it on. I found out if I made it on, while it was against the wall, it would shove the ship in a different direction real quick. So that was kind of fun to do for no reason until I fell asleep again.
And then you'd wake up and shoot the ship off and kill your...
I'm on it. Looking forward to playing some more of that game.
As knuckle tattoos. I'm on it.
I'm sorry, Sean.
Nice.
So whatever, I didn't play a lot of games, but there is plenty to talk about, I'm sure, that happened in the world of games this week.
Yay! Let's talk about this. Everybody's talking about it. We're going to talk about it. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, what do we got?
PewDiePie.
Dang it.
Yep, he's back.
Gosh.
Yesterday dropped his apology video.
Let's start with that. Yeah, I like that. PewDiePie has released another apology video. That's the headline.
That's the headline. Buried in the lead, PewDiePie drops the N-word with a hard R.
Not talented?
He said nagger.
Oh.
He's super tired of his mom always saying, PewDiePie! Why aren't you eating my meatballs? They're Swedish.
Dude, okay. Whatever about, he's done enough stupid things, right? This is the guy who gave us the other
Gas
thing I don't
all
want to
Jews.
talk about out
yeah,
loud.
No,
yeah,
huge fan. Love the Jews.
I'm more bummed about just all the defenders that come out after this.
It
was in the heat of the moment. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. I love that phrase. It's the heat of the moment. Yes, in the heat of the moment,
you may become racist for a little bit.
Yeah, when you are playing a video game,
heat of the moment.
You don't just suddenly here's the thing that kills me about this. He didn't drop that He dropped it, immediately knew what he said, apologized for it.
Corrected. He's like, oh, sorry. This was the word I meant when I said that.
Right.
Oh.
So
okay.
What really bums me out about this is like, okay, you've got the whole sect of people that do don't let words have power over you. Great. You know what? That's good for some of you. That doesn't work for a majority of people.
This is the argument that's been going around in larger circles, like political circles already. You know, that's why I look into games news and I see stuff like this and I'm like, man, in my games now,
right?
You did this, you know, it's the whole, which is probably a bad way to look at it because it's important and it's, you know, but it's still. You should be disappointed.
You want the games world, like the ideal games world where we're above such nonsense. Like we're above that petty squabbling, and what we really care about is whether or not our queue is gonna reset in 14 seconds or 15. That matters.
This just all sounds bad now.
And again, the other thing that gets me with this is how he dropped it, and he covers it up. Which clearly means and clearly says, which he then apologized for, he clearly uses the word in his regular life. I'm not saying he uses it every single day, but he clearly uses it. It's clearly not a word that's out of bounds for him. But you've got, and this again, I hate this. I hate having to say this. It feels like it's awful to me. I don't like saying this.
So yeah, it's kids. It sucks. Like that's, you know, that almost shouldn't be an excuse. Like we should. But it is for the people who are like, it's just a word or nothing matters, stuff like that. There's a zillion kids out there who now think that the N-word is just a word. Like they have no concept of the weight.
Right.
You know, it isn't that the plain truth is it's not just a word, right? These aren't just snowflakes, to use the term from the other circle that we don't want to even get into. You know, it's people. They're not snowflakes. They're people.
And here's the other thing that I hate. I hate the argument that oh well you've probably said, you know, something derogatory about a group of people when you were younger, so you're a hypocrite. No, when I was growing up, 21, 22, 23, even my early 20s, when I knew better, there were certain words that have always been off limits. That's one of them. But there were other things that I never, to me, it didn't click for me the same way that word did. And I got called out on it. And guess what? You know who doesn't use... I don't use the word anymore because I grew up. I learned something. So as somebody, I understand that... No, of course, you're not... When you're saying it, you're not saying it to be derogatory.
But that's not the excuse. We still had to grow. We still had to stop using it when we figured out that didn't matter.
Right. And he clearly knows. He knew when he said it. He knew from before. Yeah. He knew. He made an apology video.
Well, this is back for the Jews thing, right? Where his apology video wasn't great anyways. It was kind of just like, we went into like these big overtones of satire and humor and all.
And this video, he didn't do that. He kind of ignored that. But he also did I'm not going to make excuse, but then made a bunch of excuses. So
you know, he does call himself out, and he does say numerous times that there's no excuse. While it was better than the last one, it's
sure.
The best I can say was there's a glimmer. Like I kind of felt like he seemed. It wasn't just sadness over getting caught or anger over getting caught or anything hidden beneath. You know, it's satire or anything like that. He seemed genuinely upset about the person and the habits that he's garnered over his lifetime. And it's reading a lot into a minute, 30-second video, but little bit something, I guess, in there.
I will accept that apology is a real video when you show me multiple times in the future that actually that you've learned something.
Yeah, no, and you're totally right. Like the future matters. Like looking back at his apology for the last thing, you know, and then this happens, you're like, oh.
He calls himself an idiot, so I'm going to go ahead and let him ascribe that to himself and say, yeah, I agree. You're an idiot, PewDiePie. Now, what you do with all of this?
He is a human being as well. I want him to grow like I'd want anybody, you know, especially for the position he's in, which he does mention as well. You know, whatever. Something else had to have happened over the week.
Yeah. Here, how about this? Okay. So, South Park introduced a skin color difficulty slider.
Dang it.
Now,
wait, did they do it in a good way?
See, okay, I don't.
In a bad way.
I don't know. Like this is one where I'm kind of I don't think what they're doing here is it's not racist. I think I think this is okay, let me put it this way.
Their intentions appear to not be.
The intention appears to be
bad.
That the idea that if you're a white person, which this has been the joke for a long time, you're doing life on easy mode.
There was a tweet not too long ago. Yeah, that was the same thing. Like, a good job, you completed life on easy mode. Straight white male.
Right.
Would you like to try the next difficulty level?
This is very clearly that. And now the ultimate question is the difficulty actually changed?
It does. No, it's detailed out there. Yeah.
So I guess this is one where I legitimately don't know what to think about it. Like, I think on one hand, it's a very poignant social commentary. On the other hand,
it's
like, I don't know. I don't know if this is.
I don't know either. And I think I don't know because it's a weird spot. Like, I mean, this is South Park. Like, this is the stuff they do.
It's
do
definitely
the
satirical,
totally gross
right?
And fart jokes together with stuff like this. Yeah, I mean,
there's
I guess what I picture is just like somebody going up that doesn't, because it's kind of a subtle joke if you think about it. Like, I don't know if everybody's going to get that, and I guess I wonder about the people who don't. And what without the context, without the understanding that, what does that mean when you put the difficulty up and your skin color changes? Like, what do they think? Well, in a game that then does a poop joke, like
right. And I mean, South Park is for a lot of people. South Park is. I mean, I think there are two very different camps. There are the people that are like, yes, I think South Park is great. I think all their social commentary is great. I like what they're doing. And other people who say, Matt and Trey have done a good job of building up the apathy in this generation by making everything into a joke and nothing is serious, and why take it seriously. So this, I don't know where I sit with this. I see the satire. I think of it from a purely satirical standpoint. Knowing that joke, that's funny to me, right? But I don't know if it's like appropriately, is it racist or not? I don't know. I don't know.
We might have to defer to somebody else on this one.
Yeah, well, I guess what this ultimately comes down to is this is not necessarily a something I'm gonna, or either of us are really gonna have a decision on. My opinion. I'm
surprised we got as far as we have this show. Honestly,
all right. Okay. We got as far as we're gonna get. Let's move on to the next thing. Destiny 2 is out. It hit 1.2 million players online.
Dang it! Come on!
Like, no good news this week. What is wrong with everybody?
Are you people gonna learn?
I don't know what to do.
It was when they did it the first time, like you could almost forgive it.
But twice
they did the apology video.
Yeah.
They
look. We're sorry for playing Destiny 1. We know.
But now you gotta wonder. It's happening again.
Yeah.
They've done it again.
They've gone ahead and released it. It's out.
Done it again.
So many people playing it.
1.2 million. I guess a lot of people are liking Destiny 2, Matt. How do you feel about that?
Good for them. I mean, everybody, we all make stupid mistakes in our life.
Well, it's about growing. We'll see how it goes.
They
talked about the first month of content too. Yeah, don't worry.
I won't be doing any of that.
If you're into Destiny 2, it looks like they're going to do things for you for a while.
Okay, but I'm not into Destiny 2. I'm into retro games. So what can you do for me?
Boy, oh boy, check this out.
All right, I'm checking it out. That looks good.
Two things on this front. Mm-hmm. So the NES Classic, Nintendo says they're bringing it back. They're going to actually make more of them now.
You mean after they said, oh, well, we're only doing it once. We're never doing it again. You're dumb.
That is correct.
You should have we only made 17.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, okay. So out of order, maybe. The first thing they're going to do is they've said they're going to dramatically increase production of the SNES Classic.
Oh, cool. So.
And continue production into 2018, whereas they said they wouldn't do that before.
Fantastic.
And then they're going to re-release the NES Classic again.
My hey, retro gaming is coming for you. It's
now. Are you going to get one?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if I see one at Target, I'm there and it's there. Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not looking online ever.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. I actually feel pretty good now that I want an SNES Classic. I don't need the NES Classic, but now that I've been kind of like, I don't want it enough to work for it.
Right.
So now I feel like I'm being rewarded for my laziness.
Yeah. No, so, I also love that Nintendo released a statement saying, "Don't pay more than $70, you idiots."
Yeah. Reggie threw that in there too.
Don't. We'll make
there
more.
There should be enough SNES Classics. Although, yeah, what if this comes back to bite him? Like, they don't make enough to actually... Because he's basically saying we're going to make enough to flatten the market.
Good.
Now, if they don't, it's basically like, what was that all about, you evil man? All the eBayers are going to be like, thanks, Reggie.
Silly Fils-o-me, you thought you could screw one over on us, but we got you.
All evildoers are French.
Hey, speaking of bringing back retro games, I think possibly maybe. Do you remember the Xbox 360?
No, doesn't sound familiar.
It was kind of like the PlayStation 3, except people bought it.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It had, if you played it long enough, it would get 3 red rings.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it. It was Christmassy.
Yeah. So there was a game on that one called LA Noire that Rockstar says they're bringing to... current consoles, including Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, which blows my brains.
Right. And VR.
Yeah, I love that I can put my face in place of the face that looked real but wasn't real, so now I can see really fake faces up close with my face.
Sounds plausible.
It's I'm going to be John Travolta.
Because
I'm going to face
Nicolas
off.
Cage? Yeah, hey, that's good. Fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I am super excited for this. It's going to be for the Zox, it'll be in 4K, which is pretty rad.
And the PlayStation Pro.
Did you notice that if you spell out Xbox One X, the acronym is Xbox?
Yeah. It's old news, man.
Yeah, I like that somebody I know didn't know that, and now I want to shame them for it.
Well, no, I didn't know. It took me, I'm not going to say I got that right away.
No, they just found out now.
It took me
like
having to
ago.
actually abbreviate it, and then I saw it on the screen and said, oh, this still says Xbox.
Yeah, no, it's somebody else that should have known better. So
okay.
Shame.
Idiot.
Yeah, you're dumb.
You're just like PewDiePie. I'm stoked on LA Noire.
Oh, you're such a piece of garbage.
Because I still think about that game from time to time.
It was great.
I still think about... Okay, that maybe not even fair. The game was okay. The story was cool. It was very noir. Like
it was
the good
LA
guy's
Noire.
the bad guy. Yeah, it was. And especially if you're trying to emphasize the Hollywood aspect of it. Like the LA part of it was very cool. DLC was very cool. Design was very cool. I think about driving around in that LA often.
So cool.
It was amazing. It was so good.
It was.
So
I know that
up-res that. It's not even up-res. Like the new assets they're doing for the 4K. Like I'm stoked.
I am very excited for that. That is one that I will definitely replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just again, like the tech was so good then, just to see what they're gonna like to update it now, man, it's exciting.
Yeah, I'm almost not hopeful for that stuff because the tech was cool. It was the stuff that they gave you the facial animations in super grand detail. You know, the actors looked like the actors and all that stuff. But it was still, I remember it still being on a 360. Like I still remember the line. So yeah, I mean, I hope they can knock those assets up too a little bit.
I can't imagine they won't. I mean, they've got to.
Yeah, that just seems to be the thing where when they do remasters like that, like the character models are the things that seem to get the short shrift. You know, like the walls and on the world always looks cool because it's, you know, they just have to, it's a higher concrete texture or something like that. You know, but when it comes to the model, whatever, we're gonna get it. Doesn't matter.
It's true.
Can you tell me about this Operation Orchid trailer from Rainbow Six Siege?
Yeah, these are just character introduction trailers, basically.
Okay.
New operators coming in. I can't remember either of their names. They both look cool.
The whole
actually, there's 3 of them.
Operation Orchid threw me off, like there was a story component or something.
No, so all of the DLC is called Operation whatever, and it comes with a new map and usually new operators, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all that stuff, and it's great. Sean and I have been playing pretty regularly, and he and I both got the season passes, so we've been,
Cool.
Yeah, man, that game.
Is there anything to this latest stuff that seems particularly cool? Or
the
is it
new
just
operators always are fun to check out. Yeah, so and the map, I don't know. I'll have to dig into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's good.
What about Resident Evil 7: The End of Zoe?
See, I got to go
Trailer.
back and finish Resident Evil 7. I have to restart it again. I got there.
Or did you
there
never
was-
get to the end?
No, there was a whole bunch of issues that just kind of like caused me
Gotcha.
to lose track of where I was and not be able to kind of. I wasn't
Did you
getting
do the VR? No, that's PSVR. What am I talking about?
No, yeah. I
Dude, maybe you just wait now until that thing comes out on the Vive.
yeah. We can discuss the Vive on a different show. We should have an actual discussion about that whole thing because I am just at the end of my rope with it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Also, real quick, this was going up literally while I was making the agenda, so I kind of wanted to just mention it in passing. There was an Apple event. They talked about, the iPhones and the Apple Watch and all that, which we should save that for another show.
We should.
But they did do some game stuff, one of which was Genova Chen, who was the guy for that game company. I don't know if he's still, the game company that made Flower and Flow and Journey.
Yep.
Is it still that game company?
I believe so.
Okay. He got up there and talked about a game that they're making for Apple devices called
Sky.
I didn't write that down for some reason.
I didn't either, but I remembered it.
It looks, it
looks
looks like a game from them.
It totally does, which you put that on an iPhone, that's kind of a great spot for those games. Like we talked about this. I loved Flower. I loved it. It was just such a wonderful,
I liked it as well.
Relaxing thing. And having that on the go might be a very cool.
That's true. Actually, that's really cool. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, like that, and that's how those games for me. They're like the most relaxing things. Like they're just fun. And Flower is great. I love Flower. I loved being the wind and even not using just tilting the controller. That's how I played the game for the most part. Was the tilt function. And
I loved the swooshing and like you said, being the wind.
Yeah,
breaking the wind.
Breaking the wind. Break like the wind, as Spinal Tap once said.
This looks like a cross between Flower and maybe Journey, actually. Like you're still a character, you're still traveling, and there's a multiplayer aspect to it. Like looks like you ran into a guy, somebody else that was playing somewhere, they were talking about it. Not much more beyond that, but...
I just realized somebody should freaking mod Flower into like having like humans in the world and make it a video game version of The Happening, where you just have to run into them as wind and kill them.
No, they shouldn't do that.
Yes. It could be like PUBG. One person is the wind, everybody else is Mark Wahlberg.
Oh yeah, what if though in that game you're just gliding through, your favorite level. You're turning the grass green somewhere. You're collecting petals as you go by. You're cresting another one of those beautiful hills with kind of a Stonehenge thing about it, and then you run right into a giant Mark Wahlberg.
Dude, and then he dies. I'm into it.
Okay, now it's better than the happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
The Happening?
Hey. The other game they showed the new iPhone 8 and iPhone X are built with the Apple AR kit, augmented reality kit in mind, and they showcased some of this. I forget in one of their other events that we talked about even real quickly, but they had a little bit more of, I think it was that game called The Machines.
Yeah.
And it looked like they had it set up on a table. They put the phone, and augmented reality being you look through your phone's camera and stuff pops up and you can see it like,
Pokemon Go.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. And that game looks super cool. Like it looked real solid. It looked like the most solid AR I've seen,
Yeah. It looks cool. I don't know.
It didn't look like anything I would honestly play with anybody that close to me, like physically close to me. Like, it's not something my wife's gonna want to play.
The closest thing to AR I have found where I'm like, man, I'm really kind of into that are like, there was this horror game that was supposed to come out, and I never really looked into what was going to go on with it, but they use like a whole bunch of full motion video or something to overlay like demons and ghosts in your house. And the idea was that you turn off all your lights and you use your phone to get out of your house. Basically, like you're like to get to a certain spot.
Sounds cool.
And it looked really cool. Stuff like this, it looks really neat. I just can't see myself investing any time into it at all. You know, I just I just don't know.
Like this, the machines itself as a game didn't look like anything. Like it's multiplayer, but you're walking around. You're still controlling a mech around the map and then shooting somebody. Like I wanted the board game. Like I wanted the strategy game. You know, right. Something that I can sit down. You remember they showed that demo and there was like a character piece that was like grasping at the side of the table before it fell off or something like that.
Yeah. That was that an Apple thing? That was a Microsoft thing, wasn't it?
No, it was an Apple thing. I just couldn't remember if it was this, like an early version of this game or what.
That was cool.
But after I saw that, I was excited for the board game, you know, thing. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe everybody's got to put the phone, you know, in a VR headset on their head for the whole game. But, you know, if you're actually moving, like, that would be rad. I
just want to play Dejarik. That's all. I just want Dejarik. That's it. Give me Dejarik so I can. That's Space Chess from Star Wars.
I know I wonder if that's coming out on the Lenovo headset or something.
I don't know.
I wonder if they have that locked
sooner
down.
than later.
Okay.
All I know.
That's it. That's all the stuff.
There's one other piece of augmented reality that we have to engage in. It's called the lightning round.
Oh man. And it's your turn.
Oh, okay, skipping it.
Yep. There's only two this week. That means you have a 50-50 chance of getting 0 or 100%. I didn't do math.
Neither of us.
In high school.
Statistics, not our thing.
No. 1 out of 2 people agree.
Lightning round. This is a part of the show where we got a couple of news headlines that we don't want to spend too much time on, so Ryan's going to read it to me. I'm going to say words.
Okay, you're doing your own intro. Nice.
I'm tired of waiting. We got to go.
Again, laziness has paid off, my friend.
You are just...
First one. Capcom has announced that an Okami HD remaster for PC and consoles will be out December 12th.
Again? For the 50th time? This is a game that never dies.
Also confirmed for consoles, Attack on Titan 2.
Confirmed.
All right. You did it. Perfect score.
Yes.
Again,
I knew it. Reykjavik, suck it. Hey, here's some games coming out this week. We've got Friday the 15th, Scary Day. Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider.
I forgot to mention I played that at PAX, actually.
You didn't forget it. You played it. You talked about it.
Did I talk about it? Really?
You mentioned it on the live cast.
Jeez, okay. I should watch those.
Was it good?
Yeah.
No, I mean the live cast.
It was Dishonored. No, oh no. Gosh, no. Jeez, okay. Yeah, sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah. So again, Friday the 15th, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, 0 hit points review. It's Dishonored good. Okay. Tricky Towers and Metroid Samus Returns.
Nice.
Tuesday the 19th, get excited, Marvel v Capcom Infinite. And that's all the games that are ever coming out for then. We're done.
I like the end of that segment best.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're back from everything. It's business as usual here. We've done now a normal run-of-the-mill podcast. We can stream something tomorrow at 7 p.m. PST.
What?
It could be literally any game that we've talked about ahead of time, and we'll now then tell you, like...
Video game. Join us for a variety stream wherein we won't tell you and you'll be surprised when you find out it's something we've probably played before.
And man, I'm going to start playing video games this week. So next week, I could talk about some like Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare.
Finally get back to that.
Yeah.
What else? There is one I've been meaning to start while you've been playing Prey. Maybe I'll finally start that this week.
Is it Prey? Uncharted?
I'm going to finish Infinite Warfare and then start the Uncharted stuff because my wife will like to watch that. So.
Oh, sure.
What are you going to play?
Pray
You've got to pray just to make it today?
just to make it today. Oh, 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 oh.
Well, that's a different song.
It doesn't matter. It's all Hammer.
That was Here Comes the Hammer.
He is every song.
In all of our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Anything besides pray?
I will probably play MC Hammer, the video game.
Okay.
Can't touch this.
And that's 0 Hit Points, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Keep hanging out. Go to the website. Go to the tubes. Do all of the things you want to do. And we'll see y'all next week.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Oh no, I can't. And then I might touch it, but now I'm gonna touch it. You said I couldn't touch it. Too late.